Hi guys, I'm live. I thought today I would talk about owl ears for you guys. I am also planning on making a video on owl ear tufts, but today I will talk about an owl's ears being asymmetrical. Hello everyone. Hi Brian. Hi Jess. Hi the age of outrage. Hi Victor. Hi Kelly. Yes, Victor, OMG, I liked your Dutch comment. I really liked it. It was pretty correct, you know. Howdy, Luminous. Hi, Jack. I live in Belgium. So, what about owl ears? So, internally, their ear openings are situated behind their great big eyes on the edge of the facial disc. Um, some owls Some owls have ear tufts on the top of their heads, where in fact these have nothing to do with the owl's hearing at all. They are simply several inches of snow. Also, in some owls, in particular species that are almost strictly nocturnal, such as the barn owl, they have ears where one is higher up the facial disc than the other ear. Hey, be nice. This is called asymmetrically set ear openings, which act like a radar dish, which guides sounds into the ear openings. So I thought maybe you guys would find that interesting. I have planned a whole video, okay, about ear tufts with a lot more detail. So I'm hoping you guys will appreciate that. Hi, Lara. Victor OMG asks, is it true that owls don't use their eyes and use sound and smell? No, that is not true. Owls do use their eyes, um, and owls don't really have a sense of smell. At least scientific research hasn't, the scientists aren't sure yet, but owls don't really have a very good sense of smell. They might smell something, but not a lot. So they do not use smell to hunt, for example, and they do use their eyes. They have very good eyesight. They can see very far away, but they don't see very well from up close. So, but it is true that they use their hearing for hunting as well. So they use their hearing and their eyes. So I hope that answers your question, Victor. Kelly says, Lucky is so cute. I know. Oh, what did you do? You silly. Come here. Come. Don't you want to cuddle? Don't you want to cuddle, Lucky? Cuddle. Come. Come on my shoulder. She just wants to fly around in the living room, I think. Yeah, Lyra asks, don't owls have one ear on the bottom of their head and the other on the top? That's kind of what I explained about the asymmetrical ears, Lara. So yeah, it's true. Oh, thanks, Victor. Apparently, I'm the first YouTuber who said his name correctly. Hi, unicorn person. Your YouTube name is so long. Hi, Mangle the Playful Fox. Is this the first time that you are joining a live stream? Because I think it's I haven't seen you before. Lucky is pissed off. She wants to fly in the living room freely. Could you try to be cute in front of the camera? Could you? Just for this live stream? Oh, unicorn person. Your name is Helmtraud. Are you from Germany? That sounds German, I think. Are you a boy or a girl? Oh, you're from Germany. That's cool. So you're not that far away. Oh, you're a girl. Yeah, that's what I thought. Boys don't easily pick unicorns as a name. Victor says he wishes he could speak Dutch. Well, you are on your way, mister. You're practicing, right? You're doing very well. So, do you guys have any questions for me today? Oh, Lara asks, would you recommend a barn owl for beginners? Yes, I would. Barn owls, in my opinion, and in my mentor's opinion, are the best owls for beginners. Because they are very gentle. They have a bit... Oh, looky, she doesn't want to cuddle. I'll leave her alone. If she flies off, I will let her, guys. It's not fair that I'm making her do a live stream whenever I want, you know. Anyways, I do think barn owls are very, very good for beginners. They are very gentle in character and they are very easy to train. They are the easiest owl species to train. So they are perfect for beginners. Oh, Victor OMG discovered that falconry in England costs 400 to 600 pounds, which apparently is expensive. I don't know how much that is in euros. Mangle the Playful Fox asks, what is the least recommended owl for beginners? Well, the least recommended owl for beginners is the snowy owl. Because snowy owls, first of all, they're huge. So if you make a mistake in raising them, training them, you know, or flying with them, it can have... Lucky is pooping. That's disgusting. Look, it can have disastrous endings. And second of all, snowy owls become sexually mature after 4 years. And most of the time, everything goes pretty well until they become sexually mature. And then they become very dominant. They try to mess with you. And if you are not standing very strong in your shoes, then things are going to go wrong, because it's very scary when the bigger owl species get angry or when they try to be dominant. That is very scary. So that is why snowy owls are the least recommended for beginners. To be honest, all bigger owl species are not recommended for beginners. So eagle owls are a big no-no. The great horned owl, no, don't do it. The barred owl, no. All of the bigger owls, I would not recommend. You know, just look at their talons. If they attack you, you'll be scarred for life, or dead. um, and there are so many things that can happen. First of all, you need to be able to raise your owl in such a way that it will become a social owl, who's not afraid of humans, who likes humans. So you have to know how to imprint your owl. And if you just make a teeny tiny mistake, you will end up with an owl that is not so social. And if you have a smaller species, then it's easier to correct. But if you have a big species and it's trying to scratch you all of the time and it's trying to attack you all of the time, trust me, as a beginner, you're not gonna wanna interact with your owl anymore. You are just going to want to get rid of it because it's so freaking scary when owls don't behave. It is freaking scary. Victor OMG asks, do you have any other birds of prey for beginners except barn owls? Yes, I do. The rufous-legged owl would also be great. The little owl, although the little owl is, it's very little, so that's why I think it's good. But on the other hand, little owls have the character of an eagle owl, so they're not as dangerous as an eagle owl because they're really small, but they are very stubborn. So they are harder to train when it comes to flying. So you'll have to be a bit more patient than you would be with a barn owl. So but if you keep that in consideration, then little owls should be okay as well. Let's see, are there any other species? Maybe a screech owl. Um, Rufous-legged owls, barn owls, little owls. You know, falcons aren't owls, but falcons are pretty good too for beginners. Shannon Lee asks, do you feel that you worry about Lucky a lot when you're away? Um, no, not if it's just for a day, but if I leave for 2 days, for example, I will be worried that she might get tangled in her long lace. It happens sometimes. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's Murphy's law. You'll see that when I'm not there, she'll get tangled in her long lace. I do worry about that sometimes, but I I rarely go away for more than a day, so um, I don't have to worry about it a lot. Um, but I will worry about her if I'm on vacation for multiple days. I can leave her alone at home for 2 days, but if I need to go away from home for a longer period of time, I have to make sure that either my mentor takes care of her, or I have to ask friends or parents to do so. But obviously, they are not falconers, so I will only let people take care of Lucky who I really trust. Only people of whom I know that if I say don't do this, only do this and this and this, that they will respect it. Um, but if I don't let a falconer take care of her, I will be worried as well when I'm on vacation. Um, I'll probably call my friends or my parents or whoever is taking care of Lucky. I will probably call them up every day to ask if everything's okay. Lara asks, what's the largest raptor you have worked with? That would be the European eagle owl. Luminous, do you enjoy caring for Lucky? Yes, I do, Luminous. She is. Where is she? She is playing in the couch. She is amazing. I do love caring for her. I love flying her in the garden. That's part of taking care of a bird of prey. You have to fly them for their food. I love cuddling with her. I love giving her a bath. I love cleaning out her scale. I don't mind doing any of the work. So That's a good thing. The Age of Outrage says snowy owls can be big bitches. Yes, they can be. Hi, Bree Plays Animations. Welcome to this live stream. Oh, Victor OMG says that 400 to 600 pounds, it should be around 680 euros. Well, that's not really expensive, Victor, for a full falconry education. That is not expensive at all, but I do admit it is a lot of money for me too. So I would say it's not expensive for a falconry education, but I mean for most of us it's a lot of money, I think. Oh, it's the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Rihanna fan 94 asks, does Lucky have interaction with other owls? Um, Not really, not most of the time. The only time she will interact with other owls is when I go to my mentor. Um, when he does demonstrations, he often invites me, and his birds will be displayed and they will be standing um, next to each other, but at a safe distance because they are not imprinted on each other. So owls who weren't imprinted on other birds will not get along with other birds. So Lucky will be standing amongst my mentor's birds, but she will be standing at a safe distance. So the birds can't reach each other, they can just see each other. So in a way, she will be interacting with birds, but only when I go to visit my mentor. Frost Keeper the Ice Wing, hi, welcome to this live stream, asks, how old is Lucky? She is about 6 years old now. Uh, I am a unicorn on a rainbow asks, is it dangerous if two owls meet? Well, that depends. If they meet in the wild, it's a-okay. But if two owls who weren't imprinted on each other meet, they will probably attack each other. So in that sense, it would be dangerous. Yes, it would be dangerous for both owls. Marin Escrivant asks, does Lucky react when she hears music? Um, Not really. Not really. I am planning on doing a regular video about Lucky reacting to the sound of a clarinet. A subscriber asked me to do this. Um, so I'm planning on recording that video, but I don't expect her to do anything. I made videos about her reacting to other owl sounds. So, but she didn't do anything. Not really. She got a bit curious, maybe, but sometimes it looked like she didn't even notice. Um, So I don't think she will respond to music. Victor OMG asks, what raptors do you think that will be better for people who are advanced on falconry? If you're really advanced, you can go for snowy owls, great horned owls, barred owls, eagle owls, the Eurasian eagle owl, which is even bigger than the European eagle owl. Um, yeah, those kinds of species. But I don't think that if you're an advanced falconer that you should necessarily keep those species. I can imagine that there would be falconers out there who are super advanced but who just have a preference for certain species. Maybe they like the smaller species. What about golden eagles? They are also for pretty advanced falconers. Rife Fan asks, I'm sure it differs from species to species as well as domesticated vs wild, but what is the average lifespan of an owl? Well, it does indeed depend on the species. The average lifespan of an owl is in between 5 to 30 years. Um, the bigger owl species live longer and the smaller owl species live less long. Shannon Lee asks, has Lucky caught any mice or prey when you've been cut? Oh, when you've been out on walks, etc. Does she think to do that still? No, Shannon, she doesn't because she is a bred owl. She was bred in captivity, and bred owls who are imprinted on humans. Lucky is destroying my house. Bred owls who were imprinted on humans don't have any hunting instincts anymore. So that means that if Lucky were to escape, for example, she wouldn't be able to survive anymore. She just wouldn't be able to catch any mice or other prey. So she doesn't have the reflex of, you know, attacking a mouse. Um, if she would see a mouse in the house, for example, she would be curious, but she wouldn't hunt the mouse. Oh, Kelly asks, what are species? Species is the English word for soort, Kelly. Species betekent een uilensoort. Dus de mensen vragen welke soort uil is het beste voor beginners en voor gevorderden. Dus ik hoop dat dat duidelijk is, Kelly. Sorry dat de vlogs in het Engels zijn. Hè. Okay, I'm going to continue in English, you guys. But Kelly is from Belgium, and she does speak English, but she doesn't understand some words. So I might help her sometimes in Dutch. Victor OMG says, because I want to go straight away to a golden eagle, but I want to learn falconry for like 1 to 5 years, then I would get a golden eagle. Well, Victor, you would be ready for a golden eagle after 5 years, 5 to 6 years. My mentor recommends doing falconry for at least 6 years before you take on the challenge of, for example, a European eagle owl. But 5 years might do the trick too. Lara says, when I told people at school that falconry is a sport, they said it's not a sport because it's not in the Olympics. Then I said it would probably be dangerous to the falconers and the birds. Well, I kind of get, I don't think it's a sport because, I have never lost weight or, become any fitter because of Lucky. But I think it's more of an art than a sport, you know? Lucky is sitting on my bike. I have a cross trainer, a treadmill, and a bike in my living room, and she's sitting on the top of my bike. Cute. Victor, OMG, wants me to guess how old he is. I have no idea. 14 maybe? 12? 12? Am I close? Let me know. Lucky, can you come over here, please? Lucky, come. She does not want to come. Yep, it's 12. Okay, so Victor is 12 years old. Yeah, that's what I thought. You sounded about 12 years old. My stepdaughter becomes 12 in August. So you're about the same age. That's cool. Rife Fam asks, what does Lucky do most days when she's inside? Well, she just sits on her perch and she just watches the day unfold. And she gets taken off of her perch when I let her fly freely around the house, when I fly her in the garden on a long leash, and when we cuddle, and when I record videos with her. So, she just sits on the perch watching the day unfold. And, when I heard about keeping an owl as a pet, I thought it was animal abuse to just let an owl sit on a perch the whole day. Um, but as I learned more about falconry, I discovered that it's not animal abuse because apparently owls sit still in the wild as well. They try to preserve their energy so that they can use their energy when they have to hunt or when they have to flee from a predator. Um, when I let Lucky fly loose in the house, she will fly around for maybe 5 minutes, um, which is pretty long for her. But after 5 minutes, at the most, she will just go sit still somewhere and she won't move for hours. So owls don't mind sitting still most of the time, but they are very curious. So that is why I like to go on walks with Loki as well to prevent uh, to keep her from getting bored. Because owls can get depressed if they get bored, and that's why I like to go on walks with her. She's very curious, so she loves going on walks. She just sits on my glove and she looks around. And sometimes I will stop and I will put her in a tree. If there are branches in the tree that aren't too high up, if I can reach the lowest branch, I will put her in the tree, or I will just put her on a bench, uh, and I will just sit with her for a few minutes. And then she really enjoys just watching um, nature and just sitting on the bench, looking around. She enjoys that so much. The Age of Outrage says, besides Lucky, what is your dream owl? Mm, I also like Rufus-legged owls, but to be honest, I would consider purchasing a raven. So I might get a raven in the future. I am not sure yet, but I also really, 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 really like ravens. Oh, Victor OMG says, when I get my own credit card, I will give you a super chat. That is so nice, Victor. But it's okay that you can't give me super chats yet. And even if you would have a credit card, you don't have to do that. I like talking to you guys, so um, don't feel bad or anything. Besides, a credit card is pretty dangerous. You know, it might it gets some people in debt. Um, so don't go too wild on your credit card. Kelly says that she thinks owls are super pretty and very intelligent. That's true. Owls are extremely intelligent. I think they are as intelligent as a 3-year old, to be honest. It's just a shame that they don't have vocal cords because, some parrots can speak, but owls can't because they don't have vocal cords. but I think they are just as intelligent, maybe even more intelligent than parrots. Rife Fam asks, is the glove for your hand used for further purposes other than to attach Loki to it and maybe prevent scratches? Um, Not really. The glove, is to prevent scratches and to attach your owl to it, and that's it. Of course, but to me, this falls under the preventing scratches. But the glove is also used because when you fly your owl and it lands on the glove for its piece of meat, they hit the glove pretty hard. Uh, you might already know that owls, um, they hit their prey with their talons. When an owl is about to strike, if you I don't know if you have ever seen pictures of an owl striking his prey. They will fly, and their legs will be stretched in front of them. So they hit the glove pretty hard. So it's also to protect your hand during flying training, but I guess that's the same as preventing scratches. Good morning, GB Laudencia. Yes, Rife Fam, ravens are super smart. That's why I like them so much. The Age of Outrage says, not trying to bring you down, but ravens are mean, psychotic birds. I know that they are pretty fierce, but I think if you raise them well, they can be adorable. Victor OMG asks, how many languages do you think I speak besides English? Well, I think you also speak Spanish, but for the rest, I wouldn't know, Victor. Bruno Rosas Frasca asks, what is the life expectancy of an owl? Well, as I said before, it depends on the species. The bigger owls become older than the smaller owl species. The lifespan of an owl is in between 5 years and 30 years, or even 35 years old. So a barn owl in captivity might become up to 15 years old, maybe 20 if you're lucky. Um, a European eagle owl can become 30 years old in captivity, but in the wild, their lifespan isn't that long because they have natural enemies. Sometimes the food is scarce or they get hit by diseases. So, in the wild, a barn owl generally only becomes 1 or 2 years old, as in, whereas in captivity, they can become, from 6 or 7 years old up to 20 years old. GB asks, do you remember my owl Diggy? I don't, but I think you've sent me pictures, right? Um, I am a unicorn on a rainbow asks, is it true that owls are the most silent bird while flying? Um, I don't know, but they are amongst the most silent birds while flying. They are amongst the most silent birds, definitely. Oh, you also speak Polish, Victor. That explains your name. Oh, thanks, Lara. Lara says she loves me and my content. That's cool. I appreciate it. Yeah. Uh, Eman Klolo says 30 years. That is a very long time for an animal. Yeah, it's true. That's pretty old. Brian Lee says, I got an owl, but he's super scaredy, goes defense mode all the time. Um, well, where did you get the owl? How old was it when you got it? Was it imprinted on humans or not? Because that might explain the scaredy stuff. Um, if it wasn't socialized properly, then yeah, that might explain that behavior. Oh, GB says it's a rescued owl that she or he, is it a she or a he? Are you a he or a she, GB? Wants to tame. Well, in what country do you live? Because in the US, if you live in the US, you should bring the bird to a rescue center. Okay, sleep tight, Kelly. The blackbird also asks a question. Uh, okay, I don't understand your question. The blackbird, could you maybe explain some more? Um, if I understand correctly, you would let your owl fly with remote control airplanes or something? Oh, Bruno, thanks. And I didn't know you were from Germany. Wow, there are a lot of German people here. Oh, right, Chibi. Yeah, I probably said that. So I taught GB that if his owl displays unwanted behavior, like for example biting, um, he should pinch the beak of the owl with his two fingers and gently, very gently, move it from side to side because the beak of an owl is very sensitive. So if you do it too hard, if you are too rough with them, they can become hand shy. So you should be very gentle, but you should also be very determined. You should show the owl that you're not afraid and that you're not going to allow this behavior. Oh, the blackbird is from Germany as well. Cool. This is almost a German meeting, you guys. Bye, Victor. I'll see you later. Oh, GB says that Diggy is now doing great. Diggy is the name of his owl. She loves a lot of attention from everyone, and um, she loves a lot of attention from everyone of his family, and they all love her so much. That's cool. In that case, you did a really good job because if at first she was shy and went into defend mode all of the time, then you did an amazing job. It's not easy to rehabilitate an owl, let me tell you. Okay, let's see if Lucky wants to reappear in the stream. Come on, Lucky. So, is that better? Yeah, Lucky, you can jump on my lap if you want. Cutie face. Cutie face. Let's see. Oh, Iman Klolo is from Malaysia. That's interesting. Lucky is trying to hide behind me. Lara's apparently said something higher up that I missed. She thinks I might like it. Okay, let's see. Lara says, I will always come to your lives, and my low self esteem issues are getting better because I have found better friends that don't criticize me. That is very cool, Lara. Nice friends, good friends are really important. If they criticize you, uh, well, it depends. If it's constructive criticism, because they want to help you, that's different. That's okay. But if they criticize you all of the time, that is not okay. Amir Abukhai asks, Hi, wondering what the average life expectancy of a healthy barn owl like yours is. I know it's sad, but do you see yourself training another one afterwards? Yeah, Amir, it's a sad topic. Um, the life expectancy of a healthy barn owl would be in between 7 to 15, maybe 20 years old, but 15 is already pretty old for a barn owl. Um, and if, something would happen to Luki, I would probably get a new one, um, maybe another species, but I would get a new owl, um, unless by then the Belgian laws have changed. So depending on if the laws get any more strict, and it would be really awkward to keep an owl legally, then I probably wouldn't do it because, you know, I want to be good to my owl. And if they are also going to prohibit you coming outside with your owl, I think that's sad. I want to be able to take my owl on walks and stuff, because otherwise it will get bored. And if they are going to prohibit that as well, I might not get a new one. But I kind of, I normally never discuss this topic because I feel like I don't want to challenge the universe. I want Lucky to live as long as possible, and I don't want to jinx it. Oh, you're welcome, Amir. Oh, Victor, you're back already. Awesome. Hi, Proxius. Welcome to this live stream. Lucky is becoming calmer. Yeah, I am doing live streams, Proxius. I'm kind of addicted to them. But I think I should prepare a topic in the future because I'm noticing that I don't get as many questions anymore as I used to get in the first live streams. So if no one asks me questions, then the live stream might be pretty boring. I mean, I can cuddle with Lucky here for a while, but I mean, if you've seen it like a zillion times, then you're not going to be interested in that anymore either. So I might prepare something for each live stream in the future. Victor says, if I get, is it called a stone eagle in English, or a golden eagle? Well, if he gets a golden eagle, he would call it a demon. I think that's a pretty cool and original name, Victor. Oh, Praxius says he's got many questions. Hit me, Praxius. Lucky is hungry. She hasn't eaten yet, so that is why she's screeching now. Let's see if she wants to cuddle. Look. Pancake face. Oh, good night. I am a unicorn on a rainbow. Sleep tight. Peekaboo. Looky. Oh, GB asks, do you consider using Facebook Live in the future of your live streams? I didn't know that even existed. So, no, I'm not planning on doing that. I don't even know what that would be like. I didn't know Facebook could do that. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end this live stream. Um, oh, Lucky is preening herself. Oh, Praxius, do you want me to stay a little bit? You just got online, I know. The blackbird asks, what species do you recommend for working more with flying? Owls are not dot dot dot. Well, it's true that owls are not the easiest birds to fly. It's easier to fly birds who have a crop, like falcons or buzzards. Um, so for flying, I would recommend falcons, buzzards, um, eagles, and to be honest, any raptor that's not an owl. So birds who have a crop are easier to fly because when you give their reward, it doesn't fall directly into their stomach. It falls into the crop. So they are not they don't get full, so they can fly for longer and they will stay motivated to fly. So flying owls is more difficult in that way, in that sense. Yeah, I do know a lot about little owls, Proxius, because I had one myself. So I know that they can be pretty stubborn in character. They are not as easy to fly as barn owls, also, and but they are pretty easy to keep. I mean, they're a bit stubborn. They are also more shy than other owl species, but they are. I mean, they are pretty small, so they're easy to keep, and they also eat. They eat one-day-old chicks in captivity, but they can also eat mealworms. Oh, and what I also know from experience is that when a little owl feels really good, it will bark like a dog. I swear. My little owl, that unfortunately she's deceased. Her name was Yoshi, and at night when she felt super comfortable and and calm, she would bark. And the first time she did this, I thought there was a chihuahua in my house. I didn't know. I was like, what, is there a dog in here? So I went to look for the dog, and as I passed by her perch, she did it again, and she was like, it was so funny. She would, look, Cookie, why are you behind me? She would sometimes bark herself awake. So she would be sleeping, and I assume she would be having a nice dream or something, and she would be sitting on her perch with her eyes closed, and suddenly she would be like, and she would be like, "Oh, what was that noise?" She barked herself awake. It was hilarious. Paul, hi, welcome to this live stream. Asks, has your owl ever done anything to get your attention? Yes, she will chirp adorably when she wants my attention. And also, sometimes what she does when I pass her perch and I don't give her any attention, she will jump on my pants and she will climb my pants. She'll be like, I demand your attention right now, you woman. She does that when she asks for attention. Practice has a question about little owls. Does it take a lot for them to adapt to the environment and to the owner if it's not captivated one from the baby? Yes, it's almost impossible to, well, tame a little owl that comes from the wild. It's also illegal in most countries, which it should be. So you should get a little owl that was bred, and then you should imprint it. That is really important. If you don't do this, it's not going to work out. Oh, you got a baby owl from nature, which is about 3 months old, and you got it to observe and study on its behavior for a couple of months, and then you'll set it free? Praxis, that is really weird. So you just took it from the wild, or did you rescue it? Because if you just took it from the wild, that's bad. And also, I'm not sure if you can set it free because you took it from the nest, I presume. So it never learned how to hunt. So I don't think you can set it free because if you have it from 3 months old, then you basically imprinted it, probably without even realizing, but you basically imprinted it. So it's not going to be able to hunt anymore. So I would not set it free after that. Lara asks if I have heard about the YouTuber Taylor Nicole Dean. She loves animals and has a lot of pets. I don't know, maybe you would like it. Oh, I will look her up. I will look her up. So thank you, Lara, for the suggestion. Victor wants a snowy owl, and he asked me if I think it's a good idea. I do not think it's a good idea, Victor. You can get a snowy owl, but please only do so if you have like 12 years of falconry experience. If you're living in the US, you should become a master falconer, and then maybe after years and years of practice, you can think about a snowy owl. Oh, Praxius says I misunderstood. Ah, I'm glad. Oh, the age of outrage is warning me for ravens because his raven is also aggressive and he imprinted it at age 4 days. Yeah, I am going to do way more research about it before I get one, of course. And I am going to ask my mentor to educate me even more about ravens before I get one. Don't worry. I know that, if there's someone who is not going to make the mistake of getting a new bird, another species than a barn owl, um, without having done enough research, it's me. I won't do it. Oh, Lara, the live stream has been going on for almost an hour. It's now been on for 55 minutes. That's why I kind of wanted to end it, but I stayed on a bit longer for Proxius. I always feel bad when people join the live stream and, like, right at that moment, I will say, okay, guys, I'm going to end the live stream now. That's sad. Vultures are different, Victor. Do you know turkey vultures? They will only eat dead prey. So I like turkey vultures, by the way. I think they're funny. Oh, a falconry veterinary gave it to me. Proxius says a falconry veterinary gave it to me just to keep it only for 3 to 4 weeks to understand how these birds behave and told me to set it free. He said a month is okay to learn about them. Yeah, but still, it surprises me that he told you to set it free afterwards. Oh, Lara likes turtles. That's cool. Proxius asks, so my question was, do you think a couple weeks enough to understand their behavior and see if it can be domesticated? Well, do you want to, do you mean, what do you want to know? If that particular owl can be domesticated or if owls in general can be domesticated? Because I can tell you that they can if you imprint them. Um, but a couple of weeks, observing an owl for a couple of weeks isn't enough to understand their behavior, because I have Lucky for 6 years now, and it took me a year to completely understand everything she did. There are a lot of behaviors um, that were a mystery to me. And every time I didn't understand something, I called up my mentor and I asked him, why is she doing this or this? I have made videos on owl body language and owl behavior, so go check them out if you want to learn about it. And besides, your owl is only 3 months old. It's not going to display all of the owl behaviors yet. There are behaviors that it will only start to display when it's adult. So no, I don't think a couple of weeks are enough to understand their behavior. Well, proxies, if you're if your veteran, if the person who gave you the owl said to set it free because it's illegal for you to keep it because you are not registered, or because the owl isn't registered, I mean, how did the veterinary get the owl? That's the problem. I mean, if you're going to set it free, it's probably going to die. Do you really want to have that on your conscience? I mean, send it to a rescue center or something, but don't set it free and just let it die. Yes, Victor, OMG, I do think that snowy owls are the hardest raptors to train. Lara asks, have you ever visited England? No, I haven't, but I am planning on doing so um, when we are in a better financial situation. So I will someday visit England. I think I will start with London. Well, Victor, I already explained. Snowy owls are hard to train because In the beginning, it can go well, but after 4 years, they become sexually mature. And then they become very aggressive and very dominant, and they will test you. And if you don't know what you're doing by then, if you don't know enough about falconry, and if you are not standing very, very, very strong in your shoes, then you are going to be extremely scared. So that is why I don't recommend getting a snowy owl unless you're extremely experienced. Let me tell you, I would not get a snowy owl. I wouldn't, ever. Not even if I would have years and years of experience. Nope. I do not want a snowy owl to get nasty with me. I don't have the balls for it, to be honest. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be capable. I just don't feel like doing it, you know? Okay, it's why is Lucky sitting behind me? Okay, move a bit to the side. Move, move, move. Move. That's better. Oh, Victor, you think I said in a video that I had a snowy owl? No, I didn't. I don't have a snowy owl. I've never had a snowy owl, and I've never said that. Please tell me in which video I told you. Hi, Groot official. I like your name. I didn't say that I have a snowy owl, Victor. In what video did I say it? Okay, that's cool. Send me the link of the video and we'll watch it together. I don't blame you. I don't blame you saying that I said so, but I'm 100% sure that I never said I have had a snowy owl because it's just not true. Why would I say that if it's not true? May I ask you for a medical opinion? Yes, you may, Groot. Ask me and I will answer. The thing Lucky just did, by the way, is called rousing. You know, she puffs up and then she shakes it off and slicks back her feathers. That is called rousing. And owls do this when they feel comfortable. So now we know that Lucky is feeling very comfortable. It's a natural behavior for owls. The blackbird. Groot speaks. That's funny. I'm waiting for your question, Groot official. Yes, Victor, I said a small owl. I would never say a snowy owl. That's okay, Victor. It happens. There's a fly here. Do you want to sit on my shoulder, Lucky? Groot, I'm waiting. I want to end this live stream after Groot asked his question. Oh, a couple of weeks ago, me and my friend used a blue vape. It was my first and only time I took 30 to 40 inhales. Do you think I'll get cancer? What is a blue vape pen? I will Google it. A blue vape pen? Oh, it's a e-cigarette. It's an electric cigarette, right? Well, if there's nicotine in it, I think it's just as bad as normal cigarettes. Yes, Proxius, I will give Lucky a kiss from you. Um, I think I think you just should quit smoking. In general, Groot. That's always best. You know, I'm not a doctor, but I am convinced that smoking will give you cancer eventually. I mean, there are people who are super lucky. There are people who have been smoking all of their lives and they never get cancer. but you can also get other things. Your arteries can clog, can get you know, clogged up. So you might get a heart attack because you smoke. Or my grandma lost a leg because she smoked for so many years. It ruined her arteries. Oh, you're 15? Well, okay, I can understand that if you're a teenager, you want to experiment, but just okay, you did it once, but just don't do it again. It's really bad for you, and you'll become addicted if you keep doing it. And it's an awful habit. It's, and once you get addicted, it's super hard to quit. And, you won't be able to do a lot of sports because your lung capacity will get really bad. Oh, please, please, if you're only 15, I mean, just stop it. Just stop it. Oh, you say you're not worried about my health, but then why did you ask me the question if if it would give you cancer? My advice is to just stop immediately. And Trish K says it killed her mom. I'm so sorry, Trish, for your loss. So, yeah, Groot, you know, cigarettes are, it's basically, if you're smoking cigarettes, you're basically committing suicide, but just very slowly. That's my opinion. Oh, Groot says he is worried. Well, you should be worried because smoking does give you cancer and a lot of other bad stuff. You'll age really quickly. Um, it's really bad for your teeth. Um, you could, you could develop trouble breathing. You could also get throat cancer. It's not a good thing to do. So just stop. Oh, Lara, I did read your comment. So you said that if I ever go to England, I should try visiting Anglesey, which is a small island in North Wales. I will. I definitely will. Okay, guys, I will end this live stream now. I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever time it is in your country, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I hope you didn't find this live stream too boring. Bye, say bye to Lucky. Bye, Lucky. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Trish. Bye, Alara. Bye, the Blackbird. Bye, everyone. Mwah.